Little ideas for crafts from your finds. This is one of the doll's heads. Needs a bit cleaned up. And out of these, you can do things like this, but you know, so many people do it online. There you go. It's a mould. Isn't he lovely? And this particular one is hollow. So what you can do is drill a hole in the top of the head and insert a light. Or if you're an artist, you can probably do things like paint them, which is what my intention is to do. I'm a qualified graphic artist, so yeah, he'll be taking his place in an assemblage or indeed with graphic art on him. So there you are, one of the ideas. Now I'm going to move these along and I'm going to show you a second idea, which is not an original but a copy of a leg. And once you've used your mould, you can make as many of these as you like. I think I'm going to make this into a blue stocking, which means an educated woman in educated circles. So there you are, one blue stocking coming up, and I'm looking forward to doing that one as well. That'll be another assemblage piece with some graphic art behind it. Now, people often ask what they can do with sea glass. Well, here's one of my ideas. Yep, my idea. It's a little spade with a little rare colour on the end and just a drilled hole. I mean, it's not difficult to drill a hole, and you insert a bail and a jump ring in there, and there you go. Quite a few of these were sold at a recent festival, so it's recognised as my work, and there you are. So one sea glass pendant. Also spend some time in drilling Scottish spongeware. The Scottish spongeware is beautiful, especially when it's tricoloured. 2 colours is quite common, 3 or 4 is quite rare. So there you go, you can see I've drilled a hole in that. You've just seen the sea glass pendant. Takes a bit longer to drill sea glass, but you do have to have the right equipment and a decent drill, preferably be diamond tipped. Not so much for pottery. It takes very little time to drill through a piece of pottery, and just add your bail. And as you see, this was collected on the beach. It varies differently from the tip found pottery. It's very soft and it begins to degenerate. So there you are. The paint wears off. So there we go. One piece of beautiful spongeware pottery ready to be made into a pendant. Now I can show you how to put a bail in here, but I'm sure you can work out that for yourselves. Many different types of bails that you can find, and most are very cheap. Unless you've got really good taste and you want a gold one. The last thing I'll show you, just as part of an introduction to these crafts, I won't show you a lot of my craft because you do find that people copy your style and things like that. I have found that, especially on birds' nests and things like that. So here is a wire wrap piece. Now I've added beads at the top here to make a bail, and down the sides you can see the intricacy of the work and the delicate patterns which you can create. And to secure it, you need to introduce this all the way around and add strengtheners. So there you are, one piece of wire wrapped jewellery. not just bound round, but actually in a pattern. So there you are. This takes a lot longer, so a piece like this I would probably mark it around £40 because of the time that it takes. But there you are. I hope you enjoyed this introduction to my craft. These are just the ones that were to hand, but you will see more craft videos, and all these designs are copyright. I took photographs a long time ago because these were made a long time ago and put on my 217 Facebook page, so it was easy for people to access, but they are copyrighted now, and there you go. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed the crafts, and now I'm going to show you some of my graphic art. This is the title of my first book of graphic art. I'm going to show you the name of it. It's called Eye for an Eye. So, you know, it's a play on words there. Eye for an eye. And I like to think of myself as a graphic artist who enjoys colour. And I hope you'll see some colour in this. So, an introduction to my art. I have 3 books. Here's the second, and here is the third, and again it's a play on words, to no avail. And you can see some of the bright colours that I use, and there is my name on it there. So yeah, I've been doing this for a long time, and I trained as a graphic artist before I became a nurse. So there you are, an introduction to what I actually do as well as mudlarking. Okay, and I'll show you a few of these. This is actually based on a photograph that I took while I was on holiday in Blackpool. So when you do travel about and enjoy yourself, there's always inspiration out there. So hope you enjoy, and I'm going to show you some of the poetry. Before I show you some of the poetry, I'd like to show you this piece. It's a lady with a mirror, and I really like the colours and the way they turned out in this piece. So there you are. One quite bright lady and quite ethereal with it. This is how I looked in my library, which you can see in the background, when I was doing these things. But it's 12 years on now, and I have changed. But this is a photograph that I used in the book from my library. Right, so here's one of my poems. I'll move down slowly so that you can, if you want, pause the video and actually read the poem. When I first started creating things, it was poetry, and it was at a time when I studied English about 40 years ago. So I think I will read you this, probably with the shutter closed so you can imagine it in your own head. So here goes. The shutter's gone off, and I shall read it. It's called Fire. Tongue, burning tattoos etched on ground glass screens. See the fire burn on water, see the incense of your dreams, see the scales of rough justice as they burn vermilion red, see the poppy petals flicker as they fall inside my head. In a circle of fire, in the sky as dark as lead, where the burnt corpses rise up from the sacrificial dead, where the cinder path is twisted and the walls are aflame, comes the phoenix of love in a pyrotechnic chain. We crawl through the fire and we fly through the smoke, and our enemies dangle at the end of singed rope, and the molten world beckons as the flames climb higher, and we pursue our love through barricades of funeral pyres. Fire dances in my head, singes paper with my dreams, and the firebird flies and spirals through the centre of light beams. When the crying's over, there are ashes on our lips, drinking from a molten chalice made of scarlet rose hips. The fire-dancing eagle has set fire to our souls as he gathers up the violent sun in his ancient mixing bowl, and Prometheus is unbounded from the chains that held the secret, and our love smelts an icon from the burning tears of regret. The flames are our dancers as they coil and they rise, like bold mercurial serpents reaching for the skies. They liberate plumes of smoke like transient butterflies, and we resurrect the embers from the heat of our sighs. And we mould ourselves like molten wax into traceries of lace, and these memories are poker work lines upon your face. Fireflies extinguish all the shadows that exist, and we melt in the passion of one everlasting kiss, and we dive headlong through choice and fate into the eternal abyss. So that's the poem, which I wrote when I was a younger woman, and obviously it's a bit of a love poem, and there we go. So thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and you'll get more of this because it's fun.